There are a lot of names that have been flung around during the trial of 6ix9ine. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
To me, the worst thing you could do in the history of mankind is be a rat. The worst.
Shadi Jordan.
I'm alright, I'm in good spirits, physically, mentally, you know what I mean? I'm strong, can't break, I don't bend, I don't fall.
Now, technically speaking, Shadi Jordan was not a rapper in the traditional sense. However, he was a music executive to rappers. He had his own entertainment company, and even was the manager of 6ix9ine. So him getting put away by his own client is one of the ultimate twists of fate in this whole affair. Just as ironic though is that Shadi Jordan was a member of the 9 Trey Bloods alongside 6ix9ine. He was assigned to the young rapper once he joined the group, though how they met is very much up for debate due to both of them being members of a ferocious group. Just as ironic though, the reason for Shadi Jordan to be jailed is as simple as it can be, if you can believe it. You see, he was not only the manager to 6ix9ine, he was also one of the big people in the 9 Trey Bloods. So it was his job to make sure that 6ix9ine not only got famous, which he did, but also to ensure that all the cuts from his pay went to the group as promised, which as 6ix9ine testified it did, sometimes in very large chunks. But that there was part of the problem. Shadi Jordan pushed 6ix9ine too hard in certain ways, and so the rapper started to rebel. And after, according to 6ix9ine at least, causing 6ix9ine to lose a lot of money via concerts and such, Shadi got fired by 6ix9ine.
Austin, Texas, I fired everybody in my team. I got no manager, I got no booking agent, no PR, no public. I don't got nobody on my team.
This was ironic because this happened a mere 2 weeks before 6ix9ine, Shadi, and the rest of the 9 Trey Bloods that were associated with 6ix9ine that could be tied to evidence were detained by the FBI. And as part of the plea deal that was to go with 6ix9ine, not long after getting arrested, he promised to give up information on Shadi Jordan and all the other 9 Trey Bloods that had been arrested, which he more than happily did, over and over until they were all convicted and sentenced.
Nuke and Harv were both found guilty of racketeering, with Harv catching a separate charge for kidnapping 6ix9ine in July 2018.
Shadi himself took a very hard deal that ended him up in jail for many years, all while 6ix9ine may be walking free by the end of this year. So you almost have to wonder just what will happen to Shadi Jordan now that he is in prison, all because he couldn't control one punk rapper. This is definitely going to hurt his credit in the group, because he honestly did only have one job, and it got botched, and because he couldn't control 6ix9ine, the entire group is in danger. Sure, you can't put all the blame on Shadi, but you do have to assign a chunk of it to him. It's only fair. Still, you have to imagine that when 6ix9ine gets out of jail, he's going to think about Shadi and about how he put him away. When he does think about him, I would bet that he just smiles, says something incredibly cheesy and such, and laughs as he gets into his car, because we all know that he is that petty. Mel Mirta.
You said you have to say what? Hear what he got to say, and then I'm gonna start firing on everything. Like,
if we want to talk about big name rappers that 6ix9ine helped put away in jail, we definitely have to talk about Mel Mirta. Many people didn't know that he was a 9 Trey Blood until after the trial came to be. 6ix9ine went and testified in court about what Mel Mirta was to the group and his association with it, even stating that he was the godfather to them all, which means he was a high-ranking member and held incredible sway in the group. The rap world was pretty shocked that he was not only arrested, but testified against in that matter. But the person most hurt by this was Mel Mirta himself, who found himself in a position that would end him up in jail for quite some time, and as a result, he did everything he could to try and get a lower sentence, even pleading. At one point, he noted in an apology letter to the judge how he got into the group and why he stayed with them. I found myself as a very angry teenager because of the things I experienced and the things I saw at home behind closed doors. I took to the streets heavy at the age of 14. A lot of my friends suffered the same way I did, or worse, so we became each other's comfort blankets. So as you can see, he wasn't the only one who had to deal with these kind of conditions, and sadly, that's a big part of the United States, especially in those days and now. And of course, when there are people seeking companions, there are those who would exploit it. The older guys in my neighborhood that embraced us were thugs off the corner, and they were involved in illegal activities, but at least they seemed to care about our well-being, or so we thought at the time. In reality, I can see now that they were really just molding us to become young criminals, because they knew we really had nobody, and were gullible young kids looking to fit in and find father figures. At a later part, he said he knew he was wrong, and that his family in real ways was there all along. I know that was where I went wrong. My real family, I now realized, was my mother, Dawn, my aunts, and my brother. I got back together with Dawn and she gave me a baby boy, my pride and joy. I realized I have to break the cycle because I don't want my son or daughter going through what I did. I want what's best for them. So for Mel Mirta, this isn't just a plea, it's a hope that he'll be able to get to his family and raise them the right way, so that he doesn't have to see them repeat his mistakes. That's why he's pleading for his life, so to speak. I know I should have woken up and realized this earlier, especially when my loved ones almost lost me. Now I find myself caught up in this case, and this is the first time I'm in real serious trouble. But but I can promise you that it will be my last. I'm not a part of the ferocity in my case, and this federal arrest has been a real wake-up call for me. Unfortunately for him, he did not get the response that he wanted, because instead of being jailed for only a few years, he got 11 years in prison. This means that he will be away from his family for a very long time, and by the time he gets out, things will be gone in a way that he can't get back, which is very harrowing for a guy who had a wake-up call. And who can he thank for his predicament? Yes, himself obviously, because he did do wrong and got caught as a result, but he can also have 6ix9ine to thank, because it was his testimony among other things that helped him put away for over a decade. Jim Jones.
I liked a few Tekashi songs, my G. I wasn't a fan. We can't.
The name Jim Jones is one that has been floating around the case of 6ix9ine for quite some time now, in ways both understandable and not. For example, when 6ix9ine first became a snitch, many people within the rap community were weighing in on their opinions on the matter, whether 6ix9ine could be respected after doing such an act, whether we should take him seriously or not, the works. But in the case of Jim Jones, he made a rather interesting case that once 6ix9ine became a snitch, his history within the rap community was gone, erased, permanently forgotten, never to be spoken about again. Now sure, technically speaking that's not true, because there are physical records and such proving that 6ix9ine made music, had some huge hit songs, and so on and so forth, but the intention was him stating that the rap community felt personally betrayed by what he did, and that there was going to be a heavy price to pay. The irony though, was that these comments that were said in an interview were made in the early part of 2019, but by the time that September 2019 had come around, things had changed, because 6ix9ine was testifying in court about his management team, who are members of the 9 Treys or people associated closely with them. To that end, 6ix9ine brought up Jim Jones, calling him a retired rapper, which he isn't, and just shows that even when on the stand in trial, 6ix9ine is dissing other rappers, and noting that there were times that he had very close communications with the group, influencing them at certain points. Furthering that irony, the FBI got a wiretap on members of the 9 Trey Bloods, and one call that included Mel Mirta had Jim Jones talking about 6ix9ine before the arrest. Nah, Shadi got a handle that Jones is heard in the audio, which is assumed to be about 6ix9ine. He got on TMZ. He need to talk his talk. He need to talk his shit, you dig? And he need to be very, very, very articulate about what he say and why he made people think that he was a gang member. He need to let us know that he was never a gang member. He was always a money play for the gang members. He gotta figure it out, but they're gonna have to violate Shorty, cause Shorty on some bull. So as you can see, Jim Jones was much more attached to the 6ix9ine situation than people believed, and it seemed to indicate that he was a part of the plan to get 6ix9ine, if you will, in order to put him in his place. There was an attempted capture on 6ix9ine made by the 9 Trey Bloods that was confirmed by the FBI, and the people who were part of the crime were arrested and convicted because of 6ix9ine's testimony against them, and the evidence provided by the FBI. Now during the making of this video, Jim Jones has not been arrested by the police or the FBI. However, given certain other legal issues that he is going through, including just losing his house to foreclosure, there is a chance that his testimony and evidence could come back and bite him in the end. Only time will tell.
Do you want to win any of these items on the screen? If so, be sure to watch the whole video, leave a like, and comment the hidden message. And with that being said, let's get right back into the video.
Cardi B.
Cardi B's social media went crazy after news broke that 6ix9ine snitched on her.
Of all the names, places, and people that were name dropped in various parts of the 6ix9ine trial, and by large, the biggest and most insane name to come out of the whole thing was Cardi B. Cardi B is a lot of things, including a semi-inspirational story of a person rising up from a job where she had to dance just to make money, to being one of the top music stars in the world today with a net worth of millions. She's also one of the most flamboyant people on the face of the earth, not being afraid to flaunt herself, get what she wants, do what she wants, and say whatever she wants. That can make her eccentric and a bit off-putting at times. However, that does not make her a criminal, though 6ix9ine has a slightly different interpretation of that. You see, during a cross-examination of him, 6ix9ine was asked about Cardi B and how she grew to fame and such. One of the questions was about whether she was a blood, to which she said yes, even noting that like him, she would have blood members in the background of her various music videos to help plug the group, and thus boost her credibility on the streets even more. So this changes everything, right? Cardi B is a 9 Trey blood, right? Well, not exactly. You see, there were plenty of things said in that cross-examination, but not once did the attorney present ask 6ix9ine if Cardi B was a 9 Trey blood. Rather, he specifically asked if she was a blood, and that is what he said yes to. There are many groups in the world today that are called bloods, and when Cardi B called out 6ix9ine, she made it very clear that while she was a blood, it wasn't a 9 Trey, it was another group. So she's honestly free and clear with the situation at present. However, just because she's not in trouble via 6ix9ine, that doesn't mean that she's not in trouble. After all, isn't it curious that the attorney wanted to know anything about Cardi B in the first place? Why would he go that far into reach territory if there wasn't a reason for it all? That would likely be because the government or someone in the DA's office wants to go after Cardi B, which is not a coincidence instance because she is in a bit of trouble right now with the law via her own court case. She was accused of misdemeanor crimes back in 2018 after she caused a brawl at a bar. To put it simply, Cardi B believed that a bartender was sleeping with her husband Offset, so she took her entourage and went to confront her. The bartender, who ironically enough was 6ix9ine's girlfriend Jade, denied the allegations, but Cardi B didn't believe her, which isn't too much of a surprise if we're being honest, and thus she lashed out. This caused a whole scene in the bar. Jade and her sister were harmed, lots of property damage was done inside the club where they were at, and much more. So yeah, it's very serious. But what does that have to do with this and 6ix9ine? Simple. 6ix9ine's trial is very official, and thus anything that is stated on the record can be used in various other trials, such as the one that Cardi B is now facing after she was indicted by a grand jury, which includes some felony charges. By having 6ix9ine, a now proven reliable witness on the stand, stating that Cardi B is a blood, regardless of which one, the DA and the court can look further into her and her background to see what other things she may be hiding, and that could lead to her getting a conviction in the strip club case, as well as other charges depending on how well it goes. Granted, we won't know how far it will go until the case arrives, which won't be too much longer, but it's still something that needs to be paid attention to, and it's very possible that as 6ix9ine is walking out of jail, Cardi B will find herself walking into jail, which obviously wouldn't be a good thing for the queen of rap. The rap community versus 6ix9ine.
Confirmed in his mind that Jim was affiliated, and also brought up Cardi B.
Whether as a kid or as an adult, the moment you rat someone out, it paints you in a certain light. When you're a child at school, it may not harm you too much aside from glares, trash talking and such, but when you're an adult and you belong to a music genre that values loyalty above all else, and you belong to a group that wants you to be absolutely loyal until the very end, the action of snitching can cause a lot of problems for those involved. And of course, 6ix9ine most definitely is involved since he's officially the one who ratted everyone out. The moment he snitched and it got let out via the media, the rap community acted quickly and angrily, to the extent that many rappers from the young ones to the OGs were making their thoughts and feelings on the matter well known very quickly to anyone who asked them about it. In short, a vast majority of the rap community is furious at 6ix9ine over what he did, and that anger isn't subsiding for the most part, especially after the September hearings where 6ix9ine ratted on people like Jim Jones and Cardi B. Some OGs like Snoop Dogg are actively stating their mind on 6ix9ine and using any chance available to rip on him and more. What's worse is that 6ix9ine has stated that the reason that the OGs and other rappers are blasting him is that they're jealous of him and that when he gets out, he'll be more famous than all of them, which is of course one of the most arrogant things that could be said, and that obviously fired up a lot more rappers. In the end though, the real battle will be between the rap community and a newly released 6ix9ine, because many are going to try and make sure that he doesn't get anywhere close to the fame he desires. So what's next for 6ix9ine?
I can take care of my kids, blood. Like, I made a lot of mistakes. Like I'm not going to prison forever.
After all the damage he's done to the 9 Trey Bloods and the rap community and beyond, what exactly is the next step for the rapper known as 6ix9ine? Well, right now it's honestly about waiting. Right now he's done just about everything he can in court to show that he's a reliable person, that he lived up to his plea deal arrangement and more. So now he's just waiting for a sentencing hearing to come to pass, which will happen on December 18th, a mere 13 months after he was arrested. What will come of that hearing? No one really knows. There are a lot of speculations, of course, such as how he could be released on the spot for time served in regards to him being in prison while he testified against the 9 Trey Bloods and others. Others think that the judge won't allow him to walk free just yet, and as a result he will spend at least another year or two in jail. And for the rap community and certain people who really dislike 6ix9ine, they're hoping he gets 5+ years in jail because he's still committed a lot of crimes and he should pay for them. But we'll find out in less than 2 months. What would you do? Now let's get real for a second here. What would you have done in 6ix9ine's situation? Let's say everyone you trusted betrayed you. Your manager was stealing a lot of money from you. Your crew was planning to hurt you. Now keep in mind that you hardly knew anyone in this crew because again, it was just a front to give yourself publicity. The things your crew were doing was highly illegal and you caught yourself in the middle of it, and now you're potentially facing life in prison. Now when you were asked questions by the FBI, would you stay quiet and do the time? Lose everything you had, your rap career, your money, your fame, all to protect the neck of people who stole and were plotting against you? Wouldn't you want revenge and go back to your life? Or is the street code that important to you? And for those of you saying if he wasn't a gangster he shouldn't have been acting like it, well, 6ix9ine made a lot of money from faking it, and all you fell for his marketing trick. As you may know, he made a deal with the 9 Treys to help him fake the image of a gangbanger in return for a percentage of his earnings. So no, he was never a gangster, he was just really good at marketing and knew how to fool you into thinking he was a blood, and made a lot of money from it. Now this might sound like we're defending 6ix9ine, which we're not. We're just here to lay the questions for you to answer, and looking at the facts from an unbiased opinion. So again, what would you do? And there you have it, a look at some rappers who were are either locked up because of 6ix9ine or are in danger of being jailed because of him. What do you think of those who have been the victims of 6ix9ine snitching? What do you think the next step for him is after he gets out of jail? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe. It's your boy Keep Trending, and I will catch you next time on the next video.
A simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's really your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Go for it.